Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to Trish TV, Trish Talk, and today we are talking 12 reasons why you should not be friends with your ex. Guys, I'm only speaking from experience. This is all based on my opinion, but I do believe I have some very valid points to share with you. But before we get into this video, as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know how you feel about the videos. Let me know your opinion, even if it's not in favor of what I said. Keep it respectful though, keep it respectful. But do show me some love. I appreciate you guys so much. Let's get right into this video. I've been here before where I have tried to be friends with an ex more than once before. It did not work out. There are some things that just won't work, and there are some people that you just cannot be friends with, and that includes your ex. Becoming friends with your ex requires emotional maturity, clear communication, and excellent boundaries. Changing the form of the relationship from partners to friends does not mean we change the content, love, value, and respect. So first things first, why do I believe you cannot be friends with your ex? Number one, your wounds are still fresh. For whatever the reason you guys decided to call it quits, whether it was emotional abuse, verbal, physical, cheating going on, there could have been a lot of lack of communication. When your wounds are still fresh, you cannot try to build a friendship with someone that you are still hurting over. You can't be friends. It will only make things worse because your emotions are still so caught up in literally what just was, which was a beautiful relationship. So you thought, you might have even pictured marriage with this guy. You pictured a family with this guy. Don't put yourself in a situation to try to be friends with someone that hurt you. Number two, when you're trying to be friends with an ex, you are preventing each other from moving on. When you are in a relationship with someone, obviously when you're in it, while you're in it, you can never see an end to it. You're so in love, you're so infatuated. That relationship you feel would be the end all be all. And of course, that's kind of how we want it to be. But realistically, every person that you meet up until you meet your husband, you meet the one that's for you, you're going to meet different people that are not for you. I don't believe we meet people by mistake. It's all by design, but you still have to understand not every man you meet is going to be your husband. Some of these guys are just guys that you meet along the way of your journey of getting your husband and just learning various things from them and things about yourself. You are delaying a better relationship that could be the relationship because you are still connected to your ex for all these reasons why you miss them and you're not ready to move forward. One of you is still in love. More than likely, both of you are still in love. You can't truly be friends with someone that you're still so deep in love with. You've developed this soul tie with. It'll never work. When you're still connected to an ex, you speak to them every day, you see them, you might even still be intimate with them. I know breakups are hard. Trust me. Breakups are very hard, and in my opinion, the older that you get, the harder breakups are. But if you stay connected to your ex, it's going to make it that much harder times 10 to move on because you're not ready to lose that connection. Plain and simple, there's no such thing as just being friends. We've blurred the lines. We've done some of everything. We've talked about marriage. We've slept with each other. We've spent so much time together. I've told you my deepest, darkest secrets. You told me yours. I've met your family. I've seen certain parts of you and things that you would never share with anyone. We've gotten way too deep intimately to call this just a friendship. Wanting to remain friends with an ex is just an excuse to say, I'm not ready to let go of you. I'm not ready to move forward. So if I can't call you my boyfriend, if I can't call you my girlfriend, but I still want to be connected with you, we'll go with friendship. We're doing all the things we did when we were in a relationship, but we're just friends. This is where it gets sticky, especially for guys that will take advantage of this whole we're just friends thing. He'll get comfortable in not being obligated to you. When you're in a relationship, there are certain obligations. You know, when we go out, I want to check in with you, make sure you're okay. When you are coming back home, I need to make sure you're safe. There are certain obligations out of respect when you're in a relationship. But when we're just friends, I'm not obligated to you. I don't have to call you anymore when I go out. I don't have to tell you who I'm with. I don't have to tell you what time I'm getting home. I don't have to tell you any of those things. That respect does not have to be there when we're just friends. So sometimes a guy, out of resentment, will get really slick with you. Well, technically we're not together. I'm single. You're single. We can do what we want to do. But we're still operating as if we're in a relationship. That's when the so-called friendship turns into a situationship. How do we go from being in a full-blown relationship to being friends? Now it's a situation. I'm confused. I don't know what we got going on. I don't know what to call this anymore. All because you wanted to stay connected and you weren't ready to let go. You did not want to feel that initial part of the breakup, which is always the hardest, where you miss them no matter what happened in the relationship. You miss all the good times and you forget why y'all totally had to call it quits in the first place. One of you will end up hurt. When you break up with someone, depending on why there was a breakup, especially if you've ever dated a narcissist before, they'll have you thinking what was their fault was somehow your fault. You're going to end up more hurt out of the let's just be friends thing when you see that they're truly still moving on and you're not. Okay? So I don't know what number I'm on. We'll keep it going. When you rekindle the physical intimacy with them, you're going to regret it. So when you break up with someone, you have to break up with them completely. And that includes the physical intimacy. Do not lie to yourself. Don't say, we're just going to be friends because we don't want to, end on bad terms. We don't want to hate each other. You can still not hate them and not be on bad terms and move forward without having to trick yourself into thinking you have to stay connected because you're not ready to move forward. And don't let him talk you into it. If he is the one who presents the idea of staying friends, you just simply say, you know what, I love you. I love most of what we had, but for these reasons we had to part, and I'd rather leave it where it was than to try to be friends with you and further complicate things. You can't be completely honest with him, and he's not going to be honest with you. Like I said, when y'all are friends, the obligation is different. We're no longer in a relationship, so I'm not obligated to say and do certain things anymore because you're not my man and I'm not your girl. We've made that very clear. Even though you still want what you want from me, I want what I want from you. It's not fair. And what happens is y'all start to be dishonest with each other about where you're going, who you're with, because you don't want your ex to get jealous because you're still kind of connected with them. So you kind of have to be careful and tiptoe around what you're honest about. And it only adds more hurt on top of the hurt that you have to heal from out of the relationship. You're secretly hoping to get back together. This was a big one for me. With an ex that I was with, I thought that was it for me. I thought that I had found the one. He found me. Everything that goes into that. I thought this is the last time I'll have to date. This is the last time I'll have to answer all them stupid beginner questions. This is the one for me. We had been so connected. There was such a soul tie there that we both were secretly hoping to get back together. Being friends, staying, in contact with each other, still seeing each other and everything like that, it only made things harder because, again, we're operating as if we're in a relationship, but we're not. The lines were still blurred. You should never be friends with someone with the intentions of getting back with them because there's a big chance that won't happen. You're more hurt when it doesn't actually happen. Now, there is one case where I do believe that you can stay friends with an ex. This is the only case I believe that it can happen. Nothing outside of this. You went on a couple of dates with this guy, but there was no chemistry there. Y'all were compatible, but there was just no chemistry. Like, you weren't really feeling him like that, and he probably wasn't really feeling you like that. Take it from me, I've tried to be a friend to an ex before, and it just didn't work. It made things worse. It made it harder for me to move on. It took us longer for us to move on had I just left it where it was when we initially broke up. It's such a peaceful, it's such a calming feeling when you're able to wish the best for somebody genuinely that you loved, but you love them enough to let them go, and you love yourself enough to let them go and to make room for what's meant for you, if that's what you want. The love that you have for yourself, it has to be so top tier. You have to have so much love for yourself that being connected with that person has to be an immediate no. I hope this video helped you truly. Again, thank you so much for supporting and staying connected. Don't forget, this episode will be available via podcast. So if you're not really into the visual, it's okay. You can go over to my podcast, listen to it via audio while you're in your kitchen, in your room, cleaning up, having coffee, driving to work, whatever. And I will see you guys in the next one. Love y'all so much. Thank you for watching. Bye.